Well then, if you're a Cancer, then I've got the answer. No, just kidding. Hopefully I got some answers. Hopefully tarot can help answer some questions for us. Cancer, how have you guys been? I want to thank all of you for the huge support that you guys have given in those mid-April readings. I got so many views and comments that I was just like doing a tap dance. I couldn't imagine having that many views on this little YouTube channel. So thank you guys for all checking out these readings and letting me know if you enjoy them or if you don't enjoy them. Like, it's all good, right? So welcome to your May reading, Cancer. And for people under the influence of Cancer, we're looking at tarot to give us some healing messages, reveal some hidden messages, and reveal any stuck energies that we may be hoping to alleviate for May. All right, that's what we're all here doing, Cancer. So thanks again for joining me in this moment. I've got to give this one more. What the Cancers want me to show you this. 10 of Pentacles. Okay, so this is a pretty big energy. This is an energy signifying here that some of you may be at a crossroads in deciding what to do on an earthly plane, where to go next. Certain community involvements, certain aspects, and stuff could be related to work, may have you feeling like you may be needing to look elsewhere to find what it is that may be opening the next chapter of your life. This isn't necessarily stuck energies. This is more so of like a card of completion, that there is nothing more to be extracted from a particular situation, and now we have to like move onward and upward. It's a strong family card. Some of you maybe are dealing with situations or where a lot of family members may be coming in and out in May, whatever. You can apply it to your situation. For my subscribers that know that's flippers and jumpers, we just stick them back in the deck. We talk about them briefly and stick them back in the deck. If you're new here, welcome. We take a look at the 7 major areas of our situation, the chakra houses in this spread. And yeah, if you're a subscriber, you know it's my favorite part of the video, where I wish you all the best in abundance, peace, and prosperity and joy. I set my intention on wishing you well as you set your intention on this reading. We have 9 of Cups in the overall energy at the bottom of the deck. So the bottom of the deck can sometimes mean like this is what's going on in the subconscious. It could be like, I heard one really gifted reader say, this is the weather, just kind of the overarching energies that are like kind of what's going on around you, within you, or, overall. And the 9 of Cups is a really good card to have. The 9 of Cups signifies to me that we're satisfied, that we're happy, that we're content. A lot of readers call it wish fulfillment. I like to call it contentment. You see everything, you feeling in a place, like almost everything that I wished for you guys, we see up in this 9 of Cups. Now, of course, not everybody viewing this video is going to have everything that they want or feel that they're in a place where they're truly happy and content. But 9 of Cups is saying sometimes it's worth taking a second look at the things around you. And it's like, sometimes when I'm at work and people are like, oh, how's your day, Joe? I'm like, sometimes, oh, it could be better, but it could be worse, right? And that's kind of the way we're looking at it, right? There are 4 cups below us, 4 cups above us, and there's 1 cup right in front of us saying, is it half full? Is it half empty? The 9 of Cups is really saying, if you want to bring about wish fulfillment in your life, we need to always make sure we're looking at the silver lining. We're looking at the bright side of the picture. We're looking at the intangible aspects of the mundane that's in front of us, okay? That's what 9 of Cups energy is all about. Okay, we're going to leave 9 of Cups up there and relate back to it as we move through this reading. Good energy to have there, Cancer. Good for you guys. You guys have really pulled forward as to where we were a month ago, really. In the grounding energy, we have 6 of Cups reversed. Okay, so this is actually not too bad to have in grounding energy, even in the reverse position, because this, to me, says like a lot of Cancers have like woken up to like Eckhart Tolle type teachings, where we're living in the present, we're living in the moment. We're not being sort of subjugated to our own fantasies about what the past means or what the future could potentially or could possibly hold. The 6 of Cups reversed is very much like, this is what's happening, RFN, or right effing now. And that's a good place to be in. When we look at our root chakra, when we look at our day-to-day energies, because that means we can really start firing on all cylinders. We are really in touch with our spirit. We're really in command of, situations around us, and we really have our feelings in check, right? So that's really good. These cups are not overpowering us with, facades of beauty or, alluring things that may be like sort of fantastic to get lost in the mind about, but, really don't serve us any purpose at the end of the day. So the feeling with this card is a lot of you have great energy of being practical here as we move through May. That's all that. I'm going to leave it at that because that's what that card is stating. Now, up in the creative center, we have Ace of Swords here in the sacral energy. So these are our creative centers. So the message I want to give when I see this card here is, okay, Cancer, are we being completely honest with ourselves? Are we being truthful to this satisfaction? If we're feeling unsatisfied in certain situations, or perhaps even in a sensual or a sexual nature, are we being completely honest with ourselves in what it is that we seek? Have we hit that Ten of Pentacles energy where there's nothing more that we can extract from potentially chasing certain passions, from certain desires? Maybe some of us are at risk of like playing a situation out far too long. The Ace of Swords for me is kind of the point of no return type card, where it's like you can keep moving forward, but you kind of want to make sure that whatever it is you're doing, you can return back to whatever it is that you're at now, if that's your intention, if that's your desire. If you don't give an F, whether or not you can get back to the present moment or get back to whether it's the start of a new relationship, but as well, be aware of people maybe with messages that want to lead you astray. I'd be very careful for anything that seems too tempting, and it is even of like a sexual nature. So Cancer, that's what I have for you in that Ace of Swords. Reverse up in that energy. And it could be a situation where saying like some of you might have a little bit trouble in terms of your problem solving skills, and it's not because you lack intuition, it's just maybe because you don't have enough information, okay, when it comes to being able to like solve problems creatively. Or perhaps you have a concept or a design in your mind that you're working for, but maybe you haven't fully understood it yourself yet. That could be very relevant for a few of you that are checking this out. Okay, moving on up into solar plexus. Four of Pentacles. Okay, so some of you may be feeling that, back to this energy, that if we just had a little bit more money, if we just had a few more resources, we could get that big ticket item, or we could maybe move, or we could maybe get ourselves out of a bad situation that's almost like an unwillingness to move forward, where we're feeling maybe almost too stuck in this moment now, almost too like, all right, it's tough to dream about the future because our reality is currently this way, and we don't really see an end to it because we're doing the 9-to-5 thing, and it's like we're doing it 5 days a week, and then at the end of the 5 days we got groceries, we got laundry, we got little baby or little toddler to take care of, or maybe your siblings' children, they're relying on you a lot for certain things. The Four of Pentacles is really saying like we're having a tough time getting out of things of a physical plane, like opening up, so to speak. And to see this Four of Pentacles up in the gut instincts is almost coming back to this timeline of some of you certainly have things that you would like to be doing, that you want to be creating, that you're doing, but you're waiting on information, you're waiting on resources, and that sort of thing, right? But again, the main message that I see here for Cancer is if you are feeling this Four of Pentacles energy in the gut instinct, like, well, I'm never going to get out of here, I'm never going to get ahead. The main healing message here is be very grateful. Practice little gratitudes in the morning when you wake up. I'm grateful for my breath. I'm grateful for my health. I'm grateful for the people that I share my love with. Even though, the new Lexus or the Audi or whatever it is, like, seems like such a pipe dream, it can never come unless we are super grateful for the fact that we have like clean food, clean water, those kind of things, right? I say it because this is the last chakra before we get to the heart chakra. And this is a very important chakra. This is one that when it gets blocked, we feel that things are beyond our control, that we cannot exude any certain amount of willpower to change our situation. And the Four of Pentacles there is enforcing that some of you may be experiencing that as we move into spring, that there's just a strong desire that I get with this Nine of Cups to make things better for ourselves. You know, we've started to see the beginning of it, but maybe we're feeling like the energy is tapped out, or we can only do this little bit when, it's kind of like, what do you mean it's 10,000 miles away, right? Then how am I going to get there, right? And then, the wyvern comes and picks you up and flies you away. But, sorry, bad movie reference. What I got here for Four of Pentacles is let's be grateful for everything and all the people around us, living things. You got pets, you got plants, like little aloe vera over here. Like, I love him to death. If he wasn't here, then how would, Frankenmuth or Frankenstein here have his hairdo, right? We have to be thankful for the living things around us, and remember that all of like the inanimate stuff that we have, it's like it comes, it goes. We take nothing with us, right? Sort of thing. Okay, going to leave Four of Pentacles and Solar Plexus at that. See, oh my goodness, these cards freak me out sometimes, you guys. It's important that it flipped up. Remember, I did that extra shuffle because I didn't feel like, and then it wanted me to show you this, and now this is up in the Anahata, in the heart chakra. So whatever it is we're doing, we have reached a sense of completion about it, or we need to get on to a new avenue of doing things, or how we are perceiving a certain situation, so that we can make things better. So Pentacles, Pentacles, Pentacles. What are we going to do with all that junk? What are we going to do with all of the earthly things? What are we going to do with all the stuff that at one point we thought, well, that might have brought us fulfillment, or it was nice to have it in the moment. Then you turn around a few months later in the next spring, some of you might be cleaning out your closets, doing some spring cleaning, and you're like, oh my God, it's, do these things, do these material things really bring us fulfillment? Some of them certainly do. I take great comfort in some of the things that I have, like candles and my plants, a little pendant I wear around my neck. I love those things, right? They make me feel secure. They make me give me some self-confidence, that kind of thing. But there's only so much that I can extract from that until it's time to get back to really being human and interacting on a new, fresh level. 10 Pentacles to me, when it's up in the heart chakra, is it's a call to freshness. We need to get fresh. We need to turn over a new leaf. I know that sounds cliche, but really, when we do that, when we have some sort of new inspiring thing, when we're living in the moment, all these good energies, living in the moment, looking to be inspired, being open to creation, being open to inspiration. A lot of this in the heart now is in order to make room for that, now we're letting go of maybe old hobbies. We're letting go of maybe, old desires that have accumulated, old collections, things like that. And it's really good energy to see this, because there is no growth without a storm coming through and ripping the bark and the leaves off of the tree, right? Turning over a new leaf, sort of thing. You can see in this card, I'll point it out to you, see all the established castle here? And these happiness now belongs to these other people. These images, these memories, these creations were now meant for somebody else. And she's looking now here's where the real beauty is. Here's where life really starts to get interesting now. But there's nothing there, right? All that's there is a journey. And it's scary energy sometimes to leave that, to go into that. Okay? So leave that there. All right, Cancer. These are good cards. These are really good cards. I don't mean to sound too dad-like as I work through all the things but we're here for healing energies, right? We asked Tarot for healing it. My God, Two of Cups up in communication. If there's somebody you're crushing on, you got to let them know. If there's somebody that you've been maybe this new hobby or this new interest you have, somebody that has inspired you to do that, maybe ask them for more information, or ask them if they would like to join you. This is an invitation. When this Two of Cups shows up in the house of communications, this to me hits me hard like an invitation to join somebody, to join a group, to join the community, to make time for something new, to make time for somebody that wants to show you something exciting, relevant, fresh and new. I love that word, fresh and new, right? Two of Cups is really great energy. Doesn't always mean you're going to meet the love of your life. It just means you're going to establish a heart-opening, a fulfilling. Look, we're back to fulfilling. 9-2, that's beautiful in terms of fulfillment of what we're looking at. So if you get invited out, to do something and you're kind of uncertain or it involves getting into the field of uncertainty, forget it, forget the fear, leave it at the door, just go. Just don't even think twice, just go for it, go do it, right? And because what you'll find out is that you don't want to have any regret, you want to just like go out and do it. See this up in sacral. Some of you might be looking at in new relationships, or you found somebody really inspiring that maybe you've been hanging out for a bit and you're wanting to take it to the next level. For some of you that are involved in relationships where you're feeling like the old status or moving on is like tempting you into thoughts about leaving a partner, don't be too quick to do that. Maybe what we're looking at here is like you may just need to really feel some new inspiration about a relationship. These people haven't faded into this past yet, so it's kind of a metaphor of your own relationship. For those of you Cancers that are in relationships, just sort of remember, if you've been in a long-term thing, go back to those places when you first started dating with your significant other, with your partner. Bring that freshness has to come back through maybe you fell in love with a burger joint. Well, dang it, drive that 100 miles to that old burger joint to go and find it there again, right? So that is just a message I feel was relevant for some Cancers. And for those of you, yeah, don't even think twice if you get invited out. And if you're kind of like, maybe you're like, well, it's not the lady's place to invite a man out. And you're living by this old status quo. And it's like, he never seems to really approach me. I don't know really kind of what he thinks about me, right? And I really kind of I'm really crushing on him. This 2017. Go ask him. Go tell him. He might just be in one of those more introverted places in his natal charts where, you know, he has a crush on you too, and you just don't know it if you're not talking about it, right? So even if you are a lady and you're feeling sort of the gender role of all of this, right, or gender expression type things, forget about those barriers. Forget about those boundaries. Get into Two of Cups energy. Empress reversed up in your third eye in pineal gland. Now, this was happening a lot during the height of the Venus retrograde. And now we're looking at a situation where Venus is direct again. And there's been a couple signs so far already that have this Empress reversed. So the message I want to say here is that nothing manifests without direct action. You can spiritually try and manifest things all you want. You can emotionally try and manifest things all you want. If you're a millennial listening to this video, maybe you've been told that you can have whatever you want just by thinking it. Well, I'm here to lay down the law, the Empress reverse law of saying that you got to work. You've got to put thought and emotion into action in order to create what you want in your life. Hands down. Empress, we look at Magician energy, as above, so below. Empress reverse energy is as within, so without. So if it's not happening for you on an inner level, if you're not grateful, if you're not in touch with your heart on the inside, it's going to be tough to manifest Two of Cups energy. It's going to be tough to make this Ten of Pentacles transition into new inspiration. It's going to be tough to get Eight of Swords reversed back up this way so that we can see like beautiful things happening in all facets. If we're not doing the work, if we're not putting in the discipline, we're not putting in the time, okay? Sorry, I don't mean to get too, dad-like when it comes to this sort of stuff, but I have to let you know, Empress wants you to take action. It wants you to say yes to this invitation. It wants you to say, yes, I don't care about gender roles. I'm going to go ask him out. I'm going to go ask him to join me. Oh, what's the worst that can happen? We're letting go of this fear. Maybe, we've never done that before, right? That sort of thing. And sorry for saying him and talking about these gender roles in Two of Cups. I feel the need to mention that because sometimes, like, when I watch readings, because I like a little bit of guidance from time to time too, I get in tune with a really great reader, but then they always leave out the flip side of the coin, right? They're always like, it's him doing this. It's like they're only talking to the ladies when, that's only about 75% of the demographic. So guys, this one's for you. If you've got this Two of Cups energy, if there's someone you're crushing on, you might be fearing they're a bit out of your league, or you have been in situations where you've been sort of socially conditioned to fear rejection. Let's do our best this month to overcome it. Let's know that there are plenty of possibilities. And, once we do it once we ask one person out, it's going to get a lot more comfortable each and every time we do it. Okay, that's that. Let's look at what Source is bringing in for Cancer. Queen of Swords. All right, what is Queen of Swords doing in from Source energy? I see her upright. I see her in this crown chakra position. She comes one of two ways. There's two sides to every sword. And this time I see Queen of Swords is here to help us. She's here to see clarity in situations. She's here to cut away all of the things that don't serve us. She's here to keep us in the now. She's here to keep these good energies flowing, these good things moving forward, right? She doesn't want to see Cancer moving back. She doesn't want to see Cancer getting out of touch with their bodies or getting into situations where fear overtakes the good-natured ability to go out and live in your power, to live in your moment. Queen of Swords wants you to be actively talking, actively listening, actively engaged in playful flirtation. There are some love elements in this reading. I'm not going to lie, when I see 2, 6, and 9 of Cups here. And then we've got some Swords here and some Pentacles, a very balanced overall reading. When I see Queen of Swords up here in crown areas, some of you, it's mundane as this relationship situation, right? It's going to happen with an air sign, right? That's could be as mundane as that. As well, this Queen of Swords here is indicating, if we want to internalize it, that source is saying, Cancer, communicate, communicate, communicate. Let's talk, let's listen, let's learn, let's put our brains into a very active role of picking up on the subtleties and getting this sense of completion dealt with and taken care of, right? We're going to cut these things out of our life. The spring cleaning. Maybe some of you are just going to be unloading on Craigslist a bunch of stuff, and don't worry if you don't get $90 for it. 60 will do just fine, just so long, because you physically have to make room sometimes for new things to come in. And it can mean you're getting rid of a physical object to bring in an emotional situation. Or you are getting rid of a way of thinking that brings in an ability to manifest new ideas, new thoughts, and new creations. Okay, let's just look at a Enchanted Map Oracle card here, Cancer, to get a takeaway message that we can have for the next couple weeks. This has been a great reading. You guys have had some interesting readings and some cool cards come up in these different positions that have allowed me to touch on things that in a way that I haven't been able to do for a lot of signs in a while. So that's good. I'm happy. Thank you. We've got number 34, Spark. Look at this. I haven't had this card before. We got a lady, she's rosining up the old bow here. She's laying down on her fiddle hard because, she don't live in Georgia. But look at the beautiful, Easter time colors surrounding this. I know we're a little past it, but it's just beautiful in the way she's, now able to create because she's in a period of growth. She's not standing here in this sort of stagnant, this old energy. She's taken a small step back to see that she was standing in stagnant energy. Now she's in this beautiful, wooded meadow, and she's able to really get in touch with her creative side. So let's see. That was my intuitive interpretation of the card. Let's see what the book has to say. I like the book. I really like this deck. Colette Barron Reed, I just got to give a quick shout out for your sign who created this deck. I saw another one that the bookstore or the New Age store that she's got out. I might be switching them up, but I think I want to stick with Enchanted Map through most of 2017. It's been so awesome. Anyway, sorry, back to you guys. Quote, "You are a clear channel for divine creativity," end quote. There's a spark of creativity in you, and you have every reason to move forward with optimism and hope. Open yourself to inspiration and allow life to show you its beauty and your part in co-creating it. This is the perfect time to give birth to an idea, to start a new relationship, a job, or begin any new endeavor. Attraction is high as you connect with others who can co-create joyous experiences and join with you in expressing the finer aspects of life. Watch for a spark turn into a flame, stoking that fire and gratifying activity. Oh my God. Did it really just redefine what we said? We're co-creating with the Empress, right? We are here on these new ideas, the birth of a new idea, getting rid of the old, right? And we are finding a spark that could turn into a flame with joyous experiences with others. It really just hit home, hit hard. All right, Cancer, that was mind-blowing. Know that I love you all, and we'll see you next time.